In this section, you will learn how to set up your class page. The first thing when you log in, you need to go to the button that says My Classes. If you have never created a class page, then you should see a screen that looks something like this. It should say the subject, elementary school, and then the grade level you may have chosen because of the subject you're teaching or grade level you're teaching. So all you need to do is click Create this class, either here or here. Either button will take you to the same place. If this is incorrect, if the grade level is not what you're currently teaching, you can select other subjects and courses, and then you can find by clicking on elementary school and then clicking the grade level that you are currently teaching. For example, if I was teaching second grade and not third grade, then I could add second grade and I could remove third grade. Okay? If all the information was correct, then I'm going to go ahead and just leave it as third grade. How many section or periods of this class do you teach? Just leave this as 1 unless you're a teacher who sees different students at different times and you are planning to import all your students. For example, 4th and 5th grade teachers may consider doing this, maybe not at this time, but at some point, creating multiple classes. You can go ahead and just leave this as 1 for now. The visibility should reflect the school you are at, and it should be public to the internet, because the whole point of creating a class page is so that your parents and students have access to the homework assignments, resources outside of your classroom. Once you have set all of these things up, you can go ahead and click Start. On the next page, you have to give your class a name. Now, you can use a convention of maybe your first initial and last name. For example, I would say V. Garcia, and then the grade level you're teaching. The start date, it is recommended that you put the current date. For example, I would put August the 15th or even August the 12th, the beginning of this week. Because if you wait until the 26th, then your class will stay inactive. And so if you want parents to already start seeing the information you're posting, or you're afraid you're going to forget, then it's better just to put the current date so that your class will already be active as soon as you are done posting something today. So I'm going to go ahead and select the 15th. The term end date you can leave alone. Don't change it, because then your class will become inactive and you can continue using the same class next year. This way it doesn't limit you. You can enter your room number, and you can enter your schedule here. However, it might be a little neater if you post it in the course description area. So I'm going to go ahead and just paste a sample schedule that I already had. Okay. And the next thing is taught by. Your name will appear here. Unless you're going to be co-teaching, this you can leave alone and just leave it as your name. Don't add anybody else. Then you're going to select the grade level. And the last thing is to click Next. You will be asked if you want to add students now. At this time, no students are in the system, or if they are there, it has not been updated. So please select No at this time. To learn how to import students at a later time, we will have another video for that later on this semester. So go ahead and click No. And then the last thing, again, who are the members of your class? At this time, it should only be you as the teacher and administrator of this class. And you're going to click Finish. It's going to ask you one more time if there's any additional members you want to add. Select No. And then you will receive a little congratulations. You have successfully created the class called, V. Garcia, 3rd grade, or whatever your initial and last name is. You can just click OK, and if not, it will disappear after a few seconds. If any corrections need to be made to the course description, you can edit using the little pencil here, and you can make any modifications. The other place you can edit any settings from this class page is here where it says Settings on the left-hand side. I'm going to just click that for a moment. And here you'll see again what you have posted so far, which you have on your class page. To edit anything, like if you want to add students later or another teacher, that's where you would go to settings, and then you go edit options, and you can either manage members, add another section, start a new term, and you can even delete the class. I'm going to click edit for a moment, and the only thing I'm going to change is the number of events that appear on my class page, because I don't want 60 days of events with 25 events to show up. That's too many events at once. So I'm going to limit this to 5 events at a time. Possibly 10 at the most. I wouldn't put more than 10. So this is how many different things can appear on your calendar at the same time, so that you don't want to overwhelm your parents and students. You can also have it begin with the current Monday, or if you don't want, for example, today's Thursday, if I don't want Monday through Wednesday to appear, I only want whatever today, and then so on, and the rest, I can click current day. I'm going to go ahead and change this to 10 just to be on the safe side. And again, make sure that the school that you're on, that you are working at, is here. If not, you need to add that current school, and then you click save. Alright, and then to get back to the events in your class, you just click on home page to get back. And there you have your class page ready to add events. To add events to a class page that you have created, once again you have to log into your eChalk account, and you would click on My Classes unless you're already there. And the class you created, you would just click on the name and it'll open up the Events, Announcement, Resources, and Discussions section. We're going to talk about events at this time. So in order to add a new event, and what exactly is an event? It could be a homework assignment, a quiz, exam, a project, a holiday. It's going to be different things. We're going to click on the plus sign or here so we can see all the different kinds of events that you can add. So click the plus sign. Now, you can have an event that occurs only once. For example, on the first day of school, I'm going to click August the 26th. I'm going to call it About Me. And this is going to be a class event. And so students are going to write a paragraph about yourself. Describe your favorite things. Okay, now you have an option that on the calendar, maybe this is too much text and you don't want all of this to appear on the calendar, so you can actually show it on a separate page, and then I would click on this to see this information, or you can have it all appear in your calendar. So right now you'll see an example of what I'm talking about. So I'm going to just leave it the way it is. I'm not going to add an image at this time, and I'm going to go ahead and just click Save Event. So now I can see that there is a class event called About Me, and what I want my students to do is to write a paragraph about themselves and describe their favorite things. If I go to the calendar view, that's the only event I have so far, and again, it already has a description of what I expect for them on that very first day. Now there's different ways to add events, because you can add events even from the calendar itself. So on the 27th, maybe that's the only thing I'm going to have them do on the 26th. And on the 27th, I already want them to study their multiplication table. So I'm going to call this Math. And again, this is maybe homework. Print out the multiplication table and study the table of sixes and sevens. Alright, so I'm going to scroll down. Now maybe I want a picture here, an image from the eChalk gallery. So there is one for mathematics, or you can even type in some keywords to find what you're looking for. And so you can choose a different little icon for the math. I'm just going to put math is fun. Add image. Now, as far as the size of the image, do not make it larger than 75. It should stay small. The smaller the better. So make sure that it's not bigger than 75. Okay? And I can also attach a file. So if I have the multiplication chart already on a PDF or on a document, I can click Browse, and I can find my multiplication chart right here, multiplication table. Click Open, and now that attachment will be on that assignment. So when I click Save Event, there's a little attachment icon, and so to get that page, I just click here on where it says Math, and there's the PDF that I need to print out. So print out the multiplication table and study the table of 6s and 7s. So my student would click here and download the PDF. Okay, I'm going to go back to home page for now. As I'm adding events, they start to appear on my list of events here, but again, they're also on my calendar. And you can see what they start to look like on your class page. So I'm going to click Preview Public Page. And notice that my schedule is here, the schedule that I had posted. And here's my 2 events so far. So I have the About Me, write a paragraph, and I can also view it in a monthly calendar. Well, right now it doesn't let me because I'm viewing it from my site. But there's the 2 events that I've posted so far. Now, can you have more than 1 event in one day? Yes, because you can have a math assignment and you can have a spelling assignment or a phonics assignment on the same day. So I'm going to add an event, and I'm going to set it for August the 27th. So I already had a math event. I'm going to add another one, another homework assignment, and I'm going to call it Spelling List. You can, again, type out your spelling words, or if you have the spelling words as a PDF already somewhere, you can attach them using the Attach a File. So I'm just going to write a couple of samples. So words that have the double E. Okay, let's say that's the list. Okay, you can choose another image if you want, or I'm just gonna leave it alone. I'm not gonna put an image. Well, actually, I'm gonna go ahead and just put it just so you can see. So we'll just do school. So we'll do ABCs here. Alright, and again, no larger than 75. Click Save Event. So there is, again, under just Tuesday, there are 2 events. What does it look like on the calendar? There's the math event, there's the spelling event. And again, you could add your reading. What do they need to read for the next day? So all of this starts to accumulate. Alright, so I'm going to go back to home page. And that's basically how you add events to your class. Just a couple of other things to add to your class page, announcements and resources. On the very top of your eChalk page, there is Learn to eChalk, and it has some user guides and some tips. And so one of the tips you're going to see is provided from eChalk, and so right here is an example of what they've provided for you as a teacher. And so it gives you some suggestions of what you could post on the announcements section, important class news or updates, reminders of things that are happening at your school, for maybe students need to bring in something for a fundraiser, inspirational quotes or messages, and you can highlight student success and achievements. And so what we're going to do here, just a quick sample, is just again, just add an important announcement. It works the same way as the events. You click the plus sign or add an important announcement. Now, what's nice about the announcement is that if it's something that's temporary, you can set it up so that it expires. For example, if it's an announcement that should only be posted for today and tomorrow, then you can actually set it up that way so that you don't have to remember to go and change it right away. The other thing is if it's something that's general, for example, if it's general information about your classroom, something that students always um, have to be aware of, then you can leave that announcement up. But just be careful with announcements regarding holidays that you are removing that after the holidays are over if you didn't set it up to expire after a certain time. So an example could be student of the month, and you could actually post a picture of the student. You could set up the format for student of the month. For example, I could make this a little bit bigger. I can bold it, and I can change the color. Of course, also kind of be gentle on the eye of the viewer, and then I can insert a photo this way. Then you would click to your personal images, you would click upload, and then find the picture that you want to use. Of course, make sure that you have permission from the parents to post their child's picture on your page, and then click upload. And insert. And this will insert it into your... Now, of course, if the picture is too big, you can resize it using the handles here. Oops. Make sure it's proportional. So this is my student of the month. And you can put the name of the child again. I'm going to make this a different color. Or actually, I'm going to put it up here. Alright, so let's say that's the only thing I have for my announcement and the student of the month, and this will be for August, the 1 week in August. Alright, and then you're ready to click save. Of course, if you're going to do that, remember that you have to remember to take down this picture or put the most current information here in the next month. Don't leave this student up there the whole entire year. Alright, so that's the announcement section, and again, you can add reminders, you can add more general information, you can congratulate students on their achievements. So this is a nice place to put that so parents, when they're looking at your web page, they'll see, oh, my child is on here, you know, they made student of the month. Okay, so that's how it'll appear on your page. Now the last thing is the section called resources, and this is where sometimes parents need to know what websites you're using in the classroom so they can help their child at home. And so this is the perfect place for you to add those web links or attach documents, PowerPoints, videos that you've created, etc. So the only two pieces you need here, at least for now, is the add a web link or upload a file. The other three, if you want to explore those, you're more than welcome to, but for now, at least these two are the easiest ones to add resources. So I'm going to click on the very first one, which is add a web link, and that's all it is a web link. It's a URL website. So the title would be whatever it is you want to make available to your students. For example, Starfall is one of the most popular ones. And you would just enter the URL, or you can copy and paste it from the website. You can also enter a description. So for example, if you want to let the parents know what this website is for, you can say this is a website that helps students learn to read. And you can also put it into a folder. And one of the purposes for folders is that once you start adding a lot of websites, it's going to start to get a little hectic. You're going to have a list of 30, 40 websites. You want to organize all that information so it's easier to find. So the first time you go to your resource folders, there might not be anything there, so you might have to add a folder. I'm going to go ahead and add a folder. I'm going to call it Reading Resources. I'm going to click Save, and so now I have a folder that's called Reading Resources, and this website will fall under that folder. I'm going to go ahead and click Save. So now within that folder, if I open that folder, you'll see that Starfall is there. So now I'm going to go ahead and add another resource, but this time I'm going to upload a file. The multiplication chart that we added in the class events earlier, I'm going to go ahead and upload it here. So I'm going to click Upload a File, and I'm going to give it a title. So multiplication chart. And again, you can add a description if you want. I'm going to create a new folder because I don't want it in a reading resource folder. I want it in a math resource folder. So I'm going to click Add a folder again, and then I'm going to have math resources. And I'm going to go ahead and find that file again. Here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and click Save. So now I have two folders, a math resource folder, which has the multiplication chart that can be downloaded, and the Starfall website. Okay. Now if you accidentally added something you didn't mean to, you can delete it by clicking on the little pencil on the right. So if I needed to make a change to this website, I can click on that pencil and I can edit, or I can delete that link altogether. Okay, so you have the option of editing or deleting. And that works the same way with the announcement. If I need to make a change in the announcement, let's say for September, this is the way I would edit. I would click on the little pencil. It takes me back into my announcement page, and I can remove the picture and add the new information and then click Save. Okay. Now let's say I want to add another math resource. This time I'm going to add a website. So I'm going to click the plus sign, add a web link, and let's see, the Math is Fun. I think there's a mathisfun.com website. So let's say I have the website here. I enter the title. Now this is, again, since I already had created that math resource folder, I don't have to add another folder. It's already there. So I can now select it from my drop down menu, and then I click Save. And so now within that math resource folder, I have two resources. I have a web link, and I have a file that can be downloaded. From my class page, you'll have your announcements, your events, and then you'll have a section called Resources, and these are links that will take me to the different items within those folders. Since this is not a live site, it won't let me click on it, but if you were to actually view it from the outside, you would be able to click on these links and view those two folders, the resources inside of those folders.